watching NBA Now by Chat Sports. Harrison Graham here to answer your questions on today's live mailbag. We'll start with a School of NBA Facts. Hashtag NBA, do you think the Cavs will trade for another top 10 pick? They certainly could. I think the big question right now with the Cleveland Cavaliers is, what do you do with Collin Sexton? There's been a lot of chatter. Maybe they're willing to trade him. It doesn't sound like they want to give him a max contract extension. So could you get a top 10 pick for Sexton? Maybe, maybe not. He's been pretty good. I don't know if a team's going to trade a top 10 pick for him. Obviously, Cleveland picks at number 3 right now. Could they also get back into the top 10 with, by trading a guy like Sexton? Perhaps it could happen. Dustin Bonstead, who do you think the Thunder will pick? So Oklahoma City's got the number 6 pick and the number 16 pick. I don't know. I mean, they've got 800 picks over the next several years. I'd love to see them get Jalen Suggs. Could he drop to 6? I don't know. Maybe, because, you think of some of the guys at the top. Cunningham, Jalen Green. I think Mobley probably goes ahead of Suggs at this point. That's 3 guys. Maybe move up to number 4 if you're OKC. They've got a lot of ammunition if they want to move up in this draft with tons of first-round picks over the next 5 years. Roglock, Bradley Beal to Golden State, ? It's possible. The Warriors got the most ammunition in terms of draft capital. Number 7 overall pick, number 14 overall pick, James Wiseman from last year. You've got salary matches with guys like Draymond Green and Andrew Wiggins as well. The Warriors can offer a lot if Washington wants to trade Beal, and if Beal does end up requesting a trade, depending on when you're watching this, maybe he already has. But that's definitely a possibility. Would I bank on it? We'll have to wait and see. I'm not totally convinced of that just yet. Bill Lambert, Wizards need to trade Beal and Westbrook, get tons of picks and start over. Kind of agree with that. That being said, are you going to get a ton of picks for Russell Westbrook? Maybe you get a first-round pick. If you think you're getting like 3 firsts for Westbrook, I think you're going to be disappointed. He's like 32 now. He's got some injury history, and I think he's got a reputation across the NBA that, sure, he's a flashy player, he's a highlight reel, but can you win with him as your first or second best player? I think that's very much a question mark when it comes to Westbrook. Now, Beal's going to get you a lot. Multiple firsts or a player that you can build around moving forward. Russell the GOAT, what will it take to get Dame to L.A.? The easy answer is Anthony Davis, right? AD and another player for Damian Lillard. That's the easy way. Now, if you want to do it where you build the trio of LeBron and AD and Damian Lillard, that's going to be tough. You got to move Kuzma's contract. You can't re-sign Schroeder. A guy like Montrezl Harrell needs to opt out. There's a lot of moving parts that has to happen for you to have all 3 of these guys on your roster. The easy answer, trade AD for Damian Lillard if you want him in Los Angeles. Dustin Bond said, who will the Thunder get in the draft? A lot of Thunder questions today. If you're Oklahoma City, you can be picky. You can pick whatever you want because you're still a couple years away, and you can take a lot of swings in the next several drafts. So if you want to go a little high risk, high reward, you could go that route as well. If you want an immediate impact guy, a guy like James Bouknight could be an option. We'll see what happens, but all I know is the Thunder have a ton of ammunition for this draft and the next several drafts as well. Now, speaking of the draft, we will be live for the entire 2021 NBA draft. You see the link below. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. We'll go live at 7 o'clock Eastern time, 4 o'clock Pacific, and then at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific is when the draft will actually start. We'll break down the picks for you. It'll be a lot of fun. And, hey, why wouldn't you want to be a part of the most watched NBA draft coverage on YouTube? Because that's been the case the past couple of years. Marcus Robertson, Harrison, do you see the Cavs getting Collin Sexton to the Lakers? So a trade of Sexton to LA, that would be interesting. Like, if you're Cleveland, would you take Kuzma in a future first for Sexton? I don't like Kuzma that much. I think he's been a little pedestrian the past couple of years. But if you're not going to pay Sexton, then if you can get a first and a player, that's pretty good work if you're Cleveland. Ethan Oakman is next up. Will the Warriors get Turner, Beal, or both of them? Will Golden State get both Bradley Beal and Myles Turner? That would be pretty tough to do financially, right? You're having to for sure dump, either Draymond or Wiggins, if not both, to make that happen, including James Wiseman. You'd have to get rid of him as well from an ammunition standpoint. I don't think you're going to get both. Now, could you get one of these guys? Absolutely. But to pull both off, you can go ahead and give Bob Myers Executive of the Year if that happens. Anish Anand, who are the favorites to win the 2022 NBA championship? Well, we're filming this before the draft and free agency, so I'd probably still go Brooklyn 1. And then I think it's like a tier of Milwaukee, LA, maybe Utah. If Mitchell was healthy, they might have made a run. The Clippers were right there if Kawhi doesn't get hurt. That's kind of that next grouping there. I think it's those 4 or 5 teams, but a lot can change in the draft and in free agency, especially if some of these stars like Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal, and these guys end up getting traded. James Johnson, what is KP's trade value? Got a Mavericks question here. Gosh, it's so hard to say because he's got 3 years and over $100 million left on his contract. The third year being a player option, but I fully expect him to opt in at this point in time. I still think you could move him. The question is for how much. Like, could it be a 3-team trade where Oklahoma City takes him and then the Mavs send them a 2025 first-round pick as well? That could happen. I don't think a team's going to give you like a top 10 pick for him or even like another star player for him. It's tough. Like, would Portland take him for CJ McCollum? Maybe, but I'm not super confident that would happen. He's got a lot of injuries, and that playoff performance was not exactly inspiring either. The Humble. Who should the Lakers draft at 22? Gosh. You know who I like? I don't know. I don't think he'll fall this far. I love the Moses Moody kid out of Arkansas. The guy can really score. I think he's going to be like more of a top 12, top 15 guy, though. Could you move up and get him? Maybe you trade Kuzma in 22 to one of those teams to move up and get him. Maybe that happens, but that's the thing about the NBA draft. You get beyond the top 10, it's like, it's a crapshoot. So can you get in a guy who can help you right away? That is what I would try to do, and a guy like Moody could do that. Mr. Lubo, chances the Mavericks make a trade to get a high draft pick? Basically zero, because they don't even have a second-round pick. So to get a high draft pick, I mean, a sign-and-trade involving Tim Hardaway Jr. and you could trade Jalen Brunson to maybe get a first-round pick. I mean, how high are we talking? It's going to be hard to get a first-round pick, period, much less a top 10 or 15 pick. Honestly, I don't expect the Mavs to make a pick in this draft. That's just how I feel. Luke Harmer, will the Sixers get Fox, Lillard, or Beal for Kyle Lowry? I don't think the Kings are going to trade De'Aaron Fox, although they may have to at some point after they drafted Tyrese Halliburton. I'm looking at Lillard if I'm Philadelphia. If you can pair him with Joel Embiid, that's maybe the most explosive point guard center combination I can remember in the last 20 years. That's pretty unbelievable. Luke, I'll tell you what. Check out our Sixers channel that we just launched recently. It's chatsports.com/76erstv. We'll have more Philadelphia 76 coverage throughout the offseason. Now, name a player that you guys want to trade for. Go ahead and let us know. Whatever your favorite team is, who do you want your team to trade for this offseason? Let's hear it down in the comment section right now. Use hashtag NBA here. Altered Sports, Bradley Beal to the Bulls. Is that okay? I mean, the Bulls would love it. You got a big three of Levine, Vucevic, and Bradley Beal. The Bulls don't have a lot of draft assets right now because they traded for Vucevic, so that obviously costed them. You'd probably have to trade Patrick Williams to do that. Are you willing to trade Patrick Williams and maybe Kobe White as well? It's up to you, Bulls fans. Let us know down in the comments. Colin Reed, reaction to the Pelicans trade. We're going to react to a trade graphic right now. This just happened. If you're watching live, here we go. Grizzlies and Pellies make a trade. Ooh, this is an interesting one. Steven Adams to the Grizzlies. Also Eric Bledsoe, a first-round pick this year, a second-round pick this year, and a protected pick for next year. The Pelicans receive Jonas Valanciunas and the number 17 overall pick. I'm getting waved down from people behind the scenes. We've got the trade up on screen. We're good. Second round pick as well. So 17 and 51. We're reacting on the fly here. So if you're watching this after Monday, we filmed this live on Monday as this trade came through. So keep that in mind if you're watching this on Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever the case may be. This obviously impacts the draft order for this year, as Memphis will now be picking at number 10 overall. And that's interesting as they continue to build around Ja Morant. Who do I think won the trade? I like this trade for Memphis. I think that's a pretty good trade overall. Doopy Guy, where will Dame land? Well, he's got to officially demand a trade first. We don't know if that's happened. There's been a lot of smoke around that. We'll see. I think he should demand a trade. I think he's given Portland every chance. We do know that if he's going to stay, he wants major upgrades to the roster. Portland doesn't have a lot of ways to do that. I mean, you can trade C.J. McCollum, but who are you going to get for him? Ben Simmons, is that a major upgrade? I don't even think the Sixers would do that. So I think requesting a trade makes the most sense for Damian Lillard. I don't know. I think he'd be fun in New York. That'd be a blast, but we'll have to see where he ends up. Well, regardless of what happens, the NBA draft is going to be a whirlwind. We're already seeing picks getting traded. That's why you subscribe, because we break it down whenever it happens. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. Thursday, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock is when the draft will actually start. Subscribe, join us. Don't miss any of our coverage here on Chat Sports of the 2021 NBA Draft. Clutch Tuber, can Miami get Dame? Yeah, you probably have to trade Bam Adebayo, though. And, that's a tough decision, but that's probably one I would make if I'm being completely honest. I like Bam. He's younger, but Damian Lillard helps you more right now, so that's something you'd have to consider. Charles Rollins, will OKC make any moves? Probably. Sam Presti loves wheeling and dealing. The question for me with OKC is, how quickly do they try to get guys to expedite the rebuild? I don't think they're there yet. I think you still continue to garner assets and get picks for the future. Then maybe you hit on a couple of draft picks, and 2 years from now, use some of those extra picks you have to make trades and get some other players. Kane Black Rebby, will the Mavs trade Kristaps Porzingis? I think they'll take calls. I think they'll look into it. I think at the end of the day, he will likely be in Dallas this year, though, because he's not exactly got a ton of trade value right now. His value has been higher in the past. I think everything's on the table for Dallas outside of trading Luka Doncic. I think they will look at any way they can to upgrade the roster. Colin Reed, how many of the Thunder 6 picks will they make? So they've got 6 overall, 16 overall, and then 36, 34, pulling it up on screen as we speak, 55 as well, and then I guess they've got another one in there. I'm seeing just 5, but 5 or 6 picks, whatever the case may be. I'd say at least 3 or 4. They're not going to go trade for a star, so you might as well just – here's what you do when you're a rebuilding team and you have draft picks. You throw darts, baby. Hey, we'll draft this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. You hit on a couple of them, that changes the future of your franchise. Daddy Longlegs, what do the Celtics have to give away to get Dame? Probably Jaylen Brown, which, I mean, I'd do it. You don't really have a point guard because you traded Kemba Walker. You get Damian Lillard next to Jason Tatum. Let's go play ball, man. I think that's worth doing. I love Jaylen Brown. He's younger. He's a better defender. He's going to play longer because he's only 23, 24, but Damian Lillard is in the prime, and he can help you win more right now, so probably Jaylen Brown. Where will Dame get traded? Predict it for us down in the comments section. Will he go to Boston? Will he go to New York, Miami, Dallas, L.A.? Will any other team trade for Damian Lillard? Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Where will he get traded this offseason? Luke Carter, where will Kyle Lowry land? I like Philadelphia for him, I should say. Look, I think you should pursue Dame if you're the Sixers, but the safe move is just go give Kyle Lowry 2 years and $50 million and go play. Trade Ben Simmons, that's probably what I would do if I was Philly. YVNG11. Good afternoon, Chat Sports. Should the Warriors trade Brandon Ingram if available? What is the Warriors' biggest need, and who should they sign, draft, trade to fill that need? If I'm Golden State, I'm actively shopping 7 and 14 for win now players. Ingram can help you win now. He wouldn't be at the top of my list. I mean, I think Beal and Dame are the two guys I'm hunting if I'm Golden State. But it's a loaded draft as well. Look, either way, Golden State will improve the roster this offseason.